Hey, it's me, Tammy B, and this is my review for Scandal. All right, you guys. So we are in season 5, episode 20, titled Trump Card. So before we get into Scandal, let me tell you about my real life scandal. I have officially decided to pack my bags and move to New York City. And what brought this sudden move on is that yesterday, out of the blue, the love of my life ended up tweeting me out of nowhere. So now I just have to follow my destiny and go find him. I'm just kidding, you guys. But no, what happened was, I used to be so in love with Diddy when I was in junior high. Like, I literally, like, how you used to mail in those little calendars in the back of the magazine, and it would be a calendar with all their pictures. I did that, and I cut out every picture and posted it all over the wall. Like, I literally had like 22 Puff Daddy posters in my bedroom when I was like 14 years old. So anyway, he was I guess he's giving away a bad boy jacket, and he was like, who wants a bad boy jacket? And I was like, I'll take a bad boy jacket. And then he retweeted, was like, oh, well, enter your chance to win here. Mind you, he put your in capitals. So like YOUR, and it was in capitals. So I think that means your as in me. So I think that message was personalized just for me. So I already told my husband that if Puff Daddy ever contacted me, me and him is breaking up. So I have to let him know that I won't be coming home after today. No, I'm just kidding, y'all. I actually would not leave my husband for Puff Daddy. As much as I love him and as much money as he got, I wouldn't do it. Just because I just feel like me and my husband, like, our, what do you call it? Chemistry and our souls are intertwined. Like, I just don't think I would have that same like connection with Diddy. As much as I used to dream, I planned our whole wedding out. But I don't know. I still love him, but he's a day late and a dollar short. Well, maybe not a dollar short, but he's a day late. He should have called me like 6 years ago. So anyway, y'all, back to the episode. So it was called Trump Card. So how apropos, right? With Donald Trump leading kind of in our real country. So the episode starts off with Hollis Doyle on his best Donald Trump tip, talking about immigration, talking about how we need to keep Americans and all that BS that he normally speaks or whatever. So meanwhile, Quinn and the whole little Olivia Pope and Associates is back at the office, and Quinn is making jokes that they having a throwback Thursday, and Huck was like, that's not funny, this is serious. And we peer over to the left, and we see Abby and Olivia in the office with the door closed talking. So just the fact, I guess they're working together, that made Quinn make the joke about throwback Thursday. And so come to find out, they just made plans to take down Hollis Doyle. They just gonna find out a whole bunch of dirt about him, and then once Doyle is out, then Olivia and Abby will go head to head on basically their two candidates. So everything looks good or whatever. And soon as Abby walked out the door, Liv went to the team and was like, look, I need y'all to find everything on Susan Ross that there is. Because Abby and Olivia had just made the deal like, hey, they not going to slam each other's candidate. Let's work on Doyle. And when he out the way, then we'll do that. But, Liv don't miss a beat. She always a step ahead. So we was like, there, Liv, go back to her old ways, right? But boom, Abby get back to the office and do the same thing. She tell Elizabeth North, find anything you can on Millie. I was like, come on, Abby. So she learned from the best, y'all. So I thought Abby was about to get Dulo, but well, I guess we'll get to that. But yeah, I was liking the fact that Abby went and did the same thing that Olivia did. Like, she learned from the best. And there go Huck. He was like, yep, I told y'all this wasn't gonna be good. So Oh, Susan all trying to, now that Susan and Millie agreed not to like slam each other in the press. Susan is trying to write a speech on what to say about Millie in a nice way. So David comes in with some Gettysburger, y'all. Oh my gosh, like I know that's a place, but it just makes me want a burger. And I haven't had a burger in a long time. I actually been trying to not eat red meat that much, so I actually haven't had red meat in a long time. But Sunday, you guys, I don't know if, okay, that was TMI, but I don't know if, I was just about to have a little moment or whatever, a little monthly moment or whatever, but I was craving a burger so bad. It's this place out here called Master Burger. Oh, let me see what this guy is doing, because I was about to roll down my windows, but I don't want him to hear what I'm doing. Oh, and he comes right by me, of course. So anyway, so David came in with the Gettysburger, you guys. So anyway, it's this place called Master Burger in the hood, and the wait be so long, you guys, but I was just so wanting a burger, so I went. And then first of all, they don't take debit cards, which I didn't know, so I had to use their stupid ATM machine. And of course, when you use non-bank ATM machines, the ATM machine charge you and then your bank charge you. So I did all of that extra just to get a burger, but you guys, it was so good. I had on all white. I had burger juice all dripped down my white dress. And mind you, I live about, okay, in my head I say 10 minutes away, but everybody claimed, like, girl, you always say you'll be there in 10 minutes and it take you 20 minutes. So in my head I live 10 minutes away, but all I know is by the time I got to the house, the burger and any evidence of the burger was gone. And that's just what reminds me of Gettysburger. I imagine Gettysburger tasting like. So anyway, so David is trying to give Susan advice, like, oh, just think of positive stuff when you're talking about her. Like, oh, when I have a bad case, I just think about you and I. And he made a comment like about you and I spending our life together. And Susan was like, wait, what are we doing here? And David was like, yeah, I'm saying like that I want to be with you for real, for real. And I'm like, dang, David, like last week you was just on the floor. All y'all did was handshake. Y'all didn't have no discussion that y'all was getting back together, but I guess the handshake was their way. Or I guess Susan reaching her hand out to David was her way of letting David know, like, we back, booze. I guess I'm gonna need more than a handshake. I'm gonna need some words after you didn't made me sleep on the floor. But whatever, you guys, the next thing you know, David is asking Susan to marry her. And at first he was all political about it, like, I would like to marry if you would like to marry me. I know it's the woman's choice, and I know you're like a modern woman. She was like, look, bump all that. Ask me the right way. So she came around the desk, and he held her hand and looked into her eyes and asked her to marry him. And okay, like, first of all, I don't really agree that proposals have to be all traditional, but I don't know. I just feel like if he just got in the doghouse, I feel like he would have had to do the most. He would have had to get down on one knee. He would have had to have a ring. And it's funny that I say that, because usually I'll be like, girl, or like with girls be all crying because their engagement didn't go how they want to. I was like, girl, if you love him and y'all really love each other, don't make him redo it. I mean, if you want him to redo it, hey, I'm pretty sure he will if he really love you. But like, girl, don't be just thinking about it have to be in the movies, because real life don't go like that. So usually I tell real girls in real life it don't have to be like that. But I don't know. I just feel like Susan deserves a fairy tale because she's such a nice person. But actually, when I got proposed to, my husband didn't have a ring, actually. Yeah, because we went and picked out our rings, which I'm glad, because at first, yeah, in my head, I was like, oh, the man I married just gonna know what type of ring I want. But number one, I didn't know my ring size, so if he would have got the wrong size, that would have been a drama. And then the ring that he picked for himself, I wouldn't have picked that for him. So, and I'm pretty sure now that I think about it, he probably would have picked something I wouldn't have picked either. So I'm actually kind of glad he let me pick out my own ring. Well, actually, we went to a few places, and I kept liking the same style. So we just kept going to more places. And then so finally, I almost had picked, and I was like, let me just go to this one last place, right? So while I went to the one last place, he went back to the last place we were at and bought the ring that I technically had said I wanted it, but, was saying, oh, I needed to go look at one more place. So in a sense, he picked it, but like I said, we technically drove there together. So So anyway, so like he said, will you marry me? And then she shake her head yes. And once again, like, I just feel like I need a verbal yes, because I don't trust these politicians. They could always be like, nope, I never said that. So I don't know why. Like I said, I'm happy for Susan, or I was happy for Susan right here, but I just felt like she should have at least gave him a verbal yes. Like, first of all, you only shook his hand and telling him you back together. Now you only shaking your head yes for the proposal. Like, hey, I'm team Susan, but girl, you got to give this man some words. And with him being a lawyer, I'm surprised he wasn't like, is that a yes? But anyway, I digress. This is the show, right? So Cyrus meets Liv in the park, y'all. Cyrus tripping. He was like, look, I got the best candidate. I know you doing Millie. I know Susan Fitz is doing Susan, da 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 da. But at the end of the day, Vargas is the best candidate. He's real. He tells the truth. He doesn't lie. He doesn't play dirty. He kisses babies. He walks puppies. I have the best candidate, and for some reason, he is losing on the campaign trail. And he was like, you know me. Cyrus told Liv, you know me. Like, let me know what's up. Am I blowing it? Am I just too bad of a person? Or I'm like 50 something, or he didn't say his age. I'm old now. Am I just not good at campaigning no more? Is my time up? Like, what's the deal? Give me your friend to friend advice about why I'm not winning with my candidate. Excuse me. And Olivia just revealed, like, look, the reason you're not winning is because my dad, Command, Rowan, Papa Pope, is behind Edison. So, Cyrus is on the Democrat campaign. So it's Edison against Vargas. So Cyrus is technically head to head with Papa Pope, and he just didn't know. So Cyrus was like, what? Oh my gosh, what we gonna do? I love how Cyrus was down. First of all, he had a little woe is me moment. But once he found out, like, oh, I'm not tripping. We against Papa Pope, and Papa Pope don't play. So no, I'm not losing for real. I didn't know Papa Pope was behind it. So he was like, what we gonna do? I know we can't kill him. That's your daddy. But come on, what's the plan? I love how Cyrus was just here to jump on board. It seems like Cyrus is always ready for action. But Olivia was like, nope, that's my dad. We never win. So just do your best and may the best person win or whatever. So that was that. So now here goes the Hollis Doyle smear campaign. They keep putting out bad, Abby and Olivia keep pulling out bad stuff about Hollis Doyle. They said that he had got the taxpayers' money to buy a private island for him. They got his ex-wife to say that he raped her. I guess, in a sense, I mean, all rape is rape. I'm not trying to downplay it, but not like he raped her in the alley, but like maybe they was at home and she said no, but he like dragged her by the hair and dragged her up the stairs and had sex with her type deal. And that he used to he went hunting with the KKK and took money from the KKK. So those are three really bad things, right? But Hollis Doyle, in true Trump fashion, he turned it all the way around. When they asked him about the money, he was like, whatever. I don't know what he said, but he said something he made a joke about, oh, Fitz can come to my little island. I just don't want to see his little wiener running all around. So he made a joke about Fitz's penis. So that was kind of funny and blew it over. As far as his ex-wife, he was like, oh, I don't have to rape gals. This gal's lined up to, roll in the sack with me. And he kind of just made a little joke about that. So that, nipped that in the bud. And I don't remember what he said about the KKK, but whatever he said, he got out of it. So none of those tactics were working. So Edison and Papa Pope, I love this scene, you guys. First of all, it's not too often. Okay, is it just me, or was this the only scene I can recall ever that two black men were on the screen for like more than a minute for Scandal? So we had Edison and Papa Pope, and Edison, he see all the back and forth between Hollis, Millie, and Susan, so he wanted to get involved. And he was like, oh, let me say something. I should do something. But Papa Pope shut him down. Like, look, little black man, I know you want to be all for the people, especially the black people. He even called him a brother, sarcastically. But no, you're going to get your turn. Let them duke it out and look like the fools. And you're going to get your turn to speak. And when you speak, then you can just snatch it off from right under them. So I know you want to say something, but fall back. Do what I say. That's why I picked you. If you do what I say, you're going to win. And if you don't do what I say, it was all kind of threatening. And he was like, oh, by the way, put Jake Ballard on your vice president's list. And Edison's like, I don't think like that's a good idea. But then of course Papa Pope did some type of little stare, like, oh, you gonna put him on the list, even though he was doing reverse psychology, because he was like, oh, well, it's your choice, even though he was all doing some intimidating stance. I was like, Papa Pope is no joke or whatever. So Hollis made an announcement that, hey, look, I'm tired of Millie and Susan going at it. How about whichever one drop out first, I'll make them my vice president. So now, of course, Susan and Millie both thinking, like, maybe I should drop out. Maybe I should drop out. Vice president is not so bad. Vice president is not so bad. But, of course, Elizabeth North telling Susan, like, no, don't drop out. And the new Black Harrison was telling Millie, like, no, don't drop out. Like, you can be president or whatever. So Papa Pope goes to Millie and was like, no, Papa Pope went to Olivia and was like, look, I think you should drop out. Tell Millie to drop out and be the vice president. That's better than nothing. He was like, I talked to your girl Abby, and Abby gonna go against you. So, and then with Abby against you and me against you, you gonna lose. So just tell Millie to be the vice president. But Olivia was not having that, you guys. You know she wasn't having that. And Papa Pope so shady. Papa Pope the one who went to go visit Abby and gave her some dirt on Olivia or whatever. So I was like, oh, he ain't no good. So he trying to pit Abby and Olivia against each other, even though they already against each other. But nope, Olivia goes ahead and trump Papa Pope. Olivia goes to Edison and was like, look, you are a good man. I believe you can be president, but not like this. Not with my daddy running behind you, because you're going to have to do everything he said. And I know you, and you don't like to do what other people say. So how about you just drop out of this race, and then you could do it next time or whatever, without my dad being all on you. So clearly he thinks about it, y'all. And Edison goes to the press, y'all, and he reads Donald Trump / Hollis Doyle like it ain't nothing. He said he ain't no good. He tired of him saying all lives matter. He was like, you know, he's like old, so he grew up in a time where black people couldn't vote, black people couldn't get bank loans, where gay people couldn't get married. So he probably really do have all those ideas in his head. And he was like, Hollis Doyle is a thug, and everybody who voting for him is a thug. Now, that one line I wasn't here for, because I'm like, dang, like, Edison, like, you need their votes too. But I guess at this point, I do remember that he was trying to sabotage himself completely, not necessarily just steal the voters. Because I was like, no, you could have slammed Trump, but still been nice to the voters. So I guess now it makes sense. But it was this one line he said that was cool. He was like, Hollis Doyle saying all life matters is like you busting up into somebody's funeral and being like, oh, why you ain't crying for my daddy? My daddy died too. I was like, oh, I like that. So that was good. So yeah, even the black reporter that was interviewing Harrison was like, yeah, he just lost his presidential nomination, and that's exactly what happened, you guys. So Edison is out of the race. So Abby and Liv meet with the team to see whose dirt is the most, so they could pick who gonna run for the Republican ticket out of Melly and Susan, you guys. And it's so funny. Abby called Liv, and Abby was all quiet, and Liv was like, you must have something on me. And she was like, yeah. And that Liv was like, I got something too. Let's meet at the White House or whatever. So Abby thought, mind you, Abby the one said come to the White House. So it seemed like Abby calling the shots. Girl, why Abby's assistant came in here and was like, Olivia's here. She was like, send her in. And the assistant was like, no, she in the Oval. I don't know why that's so funny to me. Like, it's like Abby be trying to call the shots, but no matter what, Olivia still what ups her, you guys. So Olivia's in the Oval with David Rosen, Susan, Melly, and what's the lady name? Elizabeth North and Fitz, y'all. So Olivia, the meeting already started. So of course Abby all trucking in all late. But Olivia don't diss her. She was like, because Abby was like, we didn't say we were going to do it like this. She was like, no, we're just going to meet with everyone, put it all out on the table, and just vote as a group or whatever. So Abby was kind of cool with it. So Fitz was even cool with it. He was like, yeah, I think this is the best way to do it. David was like, oh, this how y'all Republicans vote? So the plan is Liv is going to reveal the dirt on Susan, and Abby is going to reveal the dirt on Melly. Whoever's dirt may make them lose, that person will drop out. Because if they both in the competition and they both just spilling dirt, then both of the ladies will get hurt. And then Hollis Doyle or the Democrat gonna win anyway. So they were like, let's just pick which one of y'all two is gonna vote as a group, so we can just all get behind the right person or whatever. So Liv went first, and Liv was like, David Rosen took the deal from the governor of Atlanta, dropped a case that she wanted to get dropped so that they could endorse Susan. And of course, Susan was mad. She was like, what? David, you lied to me again. I can't believe it. And then Fitz was like, David, I'll take your letter of resignation in the morning. And I was like, Fitz, get on my nerve. Like, that was so whack of him. First of all, didn't he pick David? Or maybe Cyrus did. But like, and Elizabeth North had to tell Fitz, like, look, Fitz, no, don't fire David. Like, that's first of all, it's gonna make you look bad, firing a district attorney at the last minute that you possibly picked. And then, hey, we could get through this. We could say Susan didn't know, so Liz North wasn't for it or whatever. But Susan was like, whatever, Abby, what you got? So even though Abby we all know that Papa Pope told Abby that Olivia had an abortion. So Abby had that information, but she just was stuck in a deer in the headlights, and she didn't say it for whatever reason. She was like, Millie hired a psychic after her son died, and he was in the White House 12 times, and if people go to her justification for that piece of information was like, as a president, you have to send people to war all the time, and people die all the time. So if you got to go see a psychic, that means you like mentally unstable to run the country and win a war successfully. So that's why Millie wouldn't run. That's why we think it's important that, you know, she had this little psychic, and that would be dirt. But everybody agreed. Fitz is like, her son just died. Like, that's not going to stick. Even the Black Harrison was like, yeah, that's nothing. So Abby looked at Olivia, and Olivia looked at Abby, and Olivia knew that wasn't all her information. But at the end of the day, Susan stood up. She was like, I guess I'm out. Congratulations, Millie. So Millie ended up winning, you guys. So now Millie is Millie against Hollis Doyle / Hillary against Trump. And Shonda Rhimes tweeted, she was like, I promise you guys, this script was written and filmed before in real life Hillary and Trump became the two battle. And I believe that, so we'll see. So we back at the office, y'all. David is crying to Susan, like, I'm sorry, I just wanted you to win, da 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 da. And she was like, I think you're amazing. Susan was like, oh, I know I'm amazing. I'm cute. I'm funny. I'm smart. I'm smarter than you. I was like, come on, Susan, you sure are. And she was like, whatever, I don't have time for you. You just got dumped by the president of the United States, and I got stuff to do, so get out. I was like, yes, Susan. But y'all, Susan cried after. So I'm so sad. She just like, first of all, I didn't even want to run for president. But David, you kind of pumped me up to run. And I just love the fact that you believed in me. But the fact that you did this behind my back means you didn't believe in me. He was like, I just wanted you to win. She was like, I know you wanted me to win. But the fact that you did a backdoor deal means you thought I couldn't win. And that breaks my heart. And that makes me not want to be with you anymore. And I can totally see where she's coming from on that. So they broke up, and I'm like, dang, I just got engaged like 20 minutes ago. But so that was that, you guys. So Liv goes over to Abby's house and brought some wine. Was like, this is for the winner. Abby was like, I didn't win. Olivia was like, I think you did win because you actually lost on purpose. So tell me what happened. And Abby was like, yeah, well, I know. Long story short, she was like, basically, I know about your abortion. And Liv was like, my abortion? Like, so? And she was like, I'm not ashamed of that. And she was like, the only person that would have hurt is Fitz because he didn't know. And she was like, nobody knows about that. How do you know? And she was like, your dad told me. And then Olivia was like, what? And then Abby was just like, yeah, and I don't think he's done with you, so you need to watch out. So that's it, you guys. So team, ultimately I'm Team Liv and Team Melly. So they technically won. And, like I said, I like Abby. And I guess that is cool that she held her friendship high enough for Olivia that she didn't tell that dirt. But even Olivia's like, man, that's good dirt. You could have sabotaged Melly by sabotaging me. But, so I thought Abby did a good thing. But then when Olivia was like, I don't care about my abortion, I'm not ashamed about it. So that means that, Liv would and Melly would have won anyway. So at the end of the day, Liv is still the better campaign person over Abby. So number one, Liv trumped Abby by going to the White House and getting in the Oval before she even came. So I thought that was kind of a trump. And then she wasn't ashamed of the abortion anyway. So even if Abby would have said it, yeah, Fitz would have been hurt. But Olivia, remember the whole filibuster was about women's rights and to choose anyway. That's what prompted Olivia to get the abortion anyway. So even, I guess they could have been like, oh, Millie let her husband mistress run her campaign and he was pregnant with her baby or something like that, but they could have turned it around. Like Olivia could have spun that and been like, yeah, she's pro-life, and because I had an abortion, that just goes to show that how pro-life she was and that her filibuster wasn't in vain. So once I thought about it, I was like, yeah, I guess Abby's information wasn't that bad. But you know, for Olivia to have an abortion, that is a big scandal, especially with the president's baby. So it could go way left, but we all know how Olivia can spin stuff. So at the end of the day, Abby still won. I mean, Liv still won over Abby. You guys, so Millie all celebrating and all geeked up that she won and all excited, and she give the new Black Harrison a hug, you guys. And of course, the hug, they pull back and look at each other, and you know they was about to kiss. But as soon as they was about to kiss, somebody came and got Millie like, oh, they ready for you to come do your speech. And I was like, oh, I know it. So, and then new Black Harrison was like, oh, I'll meet you after. In my head, I was like, nah, boo. I think you missed it. But I don't know. I think they need to get it in. So the last scene, you guys. So Papa Pope and Jake show up to Edison's office. Mind you, it's a dark office anyway. I thought this was it for Edison. I thought they was gonna kill him. And Edison was like, look, I'm not saying sorry. And in my head, I'm like, sorry, nigga, you about to die. But whatever. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay, no, that's not him. He was like, I'm not saying sorry. Papa Pope was like, look, you don't need to say sorry. I just need you to confirm what I think. Olivia got to you and had you sabotage it, right? Because you wouldn't have thought that on your own. You weak or whatever. She used to run you. That's how I used to run you, or I was about to run you. So just confirm that it's Olivia. And I think he basically did. And then he stood up like he was about to buck up to Papa Pope and Jake. And I'm like, okay, Edison must really don't know nan about these two. So Jake body slammed Edison into the table and was like, you messed up. I would have been a good vice president. We would have had a good old time. So Papa Pope wasn't here for it. You know, he let Jake beat him up for him. And like he said, he only wanted to know if Liv put him behind it anyway. So now that he know that, he walked out. So Jake was all roughing him up. But then Jake whispered into Edison's ear like, hey, tell Olivia I need her help. I want to get out. I want to walk in the sun. And you know, that's Jake and Olivia's little secret term, walking in the sun. So Jake let Edison out of the headlock and walk away. So boom, that was the end of the episode, you guys. So it was really good. I hear next week is the last one, I think. Oh, or is it 2 more? I thought it had 22. This was episode 20, so maybe it only has 21. But I don't know, you guys. So they saying Kerry Washington is pregnant and that next season only going to be 16 episodes like the last time. But she probably planned this one a little bit more strategically, I'm sure. So that's that, you guys. So that'll be interesting. Everybody's wondering if they're gonna put her pregnancy in the story or not. But I don't think so, because if that's the case, why would they shave down the episodes? But I guess depending on how far along she is, despite whether she put it in the story or not, storyline of the show. But, I mean, she still don't want to be 10 months, like, due date pregnant filming, so. And I only say 10 months. I know some people like 10 months, but I only say that because, you know, it's 40 weeks. Technically, 40 weeks is 10 months. But, yeah, so we'll see, you guys. So that was Scandal. Oh my gosh, my thing is almost 30 minutes, but hey, that's it. All right, you guys, you know what's up. Give me the thumbs up on this video. This was Scandal episode 20 of season 5, titled Trump Card. It was really good, you guys. And so we'll see what happens next week, you guys. It's Friday, you guys. Enjoy your weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, the stepmothers. the aunties who play mothers, the godmothers. Happy Mother's Day, you guys. Enjoy your Sunday. Have such a great and wonderful day, you guys. And just enjoy it. I know it's hard for us to kind of sit back and enjoy some stuff sometimes, but hey, we got to do what we got to do. Life is too short to just always be in charge mode, you know? So, all right, you guys. I will see you in the next video.